Now that E3 season is kind of over, at least for this year, and that all the press conferences and other reveals that we know of so far are done, let's do a kind of aftermath, summary, highlights thing of this year's E3. So, as per usual, I try to do these in the order that they happen. Try as much as I can. So let's kick it off with what I consider to be the highlights of the Xbox E3 press conference this year. And I kind of got it down to three things. One is a bit of a few announcements in one. Involves the announcement of the Xbox Game Pass for Windows 10 PC, which is nice. That's a good announcement that some people have been probably waiting for a while, considering that they've been doing the Game Pass for the consoles for a long while now. But on top of that, they announced that there's going to be an Ultimate Game Pass thing. It's listed for $14.99. It's going to cover the consoles, the PC, and Xbox Gold membership. This should be a deal breaker for those wanting to be online and play online with the Xbox systems and Windows 10 if you have the right PC text that you got together to play the stuff for $14.99 a month. I think that was a month, isn't it? I don't know how long that was. I know it was listed for $14.99, so I'm guessing that's per month. And I'm like, I remember having to pay about this much just for Xbox Live Gold membership. So this might be a good idea. I mean, $14.99 a month. I kind of wonder if the 1 year price is going to be a bit high still or not. Of course, that's assuming this is covered in 1 month and not like a 3-month thing, because I know back when I had a 360 and online membership stuff, I think they had 3 months and a year. A while there, they did have 1 month ones, but then they got rid of them, except if you want to pay for it online with your debit credit card stuff. Because I usually got my membership through stores and stuff. The little prepaid card that you put the code in. Now, the next... Well, I guess I put this as two different things, but they kind of tie into each other. At the E3 press conference, Xbox showed off some of Halo Infinite. Not gameplay, though. Well, maybe a small, teeny, tiny, itty bit that could have been counted as gameplay, because they kind of show a cinematic teaser trailer, whatever, that has Master Chief floating in space, then inside this little spaceship where he gets revived, and in that second that you see you're playing as I guess in the shoes of Master Chief being reactivated, which shows similar signs to some of the previous Halo games where Master Chief's been reactivated, which I have not played Halo 5 Guardians, so I do not know what fully happens in there, because last I remember, the last one I played remotely was Halo 4, and saw the ending where he was being decommissioned or taken apart, and they take his helmet off and blacks out before they show his face, which is like, Xbox, you cock teases. Or is it 3? Yeah, it's 343 Industries, whatever. But still, you cock bites. But yeah, the one thing that they did throw from this, I think they didn't give an actual date per se, but I think they put 2020 as the year of it coming out. And speaking of 2020, that leads into the next thing. They didn't show the system per se, but they did say that their next generation console, that's currently codenamed Project Scarlett, is going to be releasing holiday 2020. And not only that, but Halo Infinite will be released at the same time as the console, due to the fact that the Halo games in the past have been released around the same time as the consoles, which does make sense. I mean, it's happened before in the past. It's happened with the first Halo game. It's happened with... And I kind of wonder with them announcing it this way, when it gets closer at least next year's E3 press conference, if they will actually have an official name for the next generation console. And if there'll be, oh, by the way, we're going to have some bundles that'll be with Halo Infinite, because they have had Halo bundles in the past where they even had special design systems. That kind of covers Xbox E3's press conference for me, at least as far as the major things that I got from it. Otherwise, they had some weak sauce with some other stuff. So now we hop into Bethesda. Bethesda. Let's hop into the Elder Scrolls Blades. At the time of the E3 press conference, they said that they can download free tonight. Which case, I think it was still in its beta stuff. If you were able to actually see it listed on your iDevice, whatever, go get it. I mean, it's a free game. But what else they revealed was that there's a Switch version coming out. Now, I know previously when they talked about Elder Scrolls Blade, they were talking about how it's coming to consoles as well. And I was expecting like a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch version. But instead, apparently we're only getting a Switch version. In which case I'm like, what the fuck, Bethesda? With the gameplay that they've showed off on this game, I could see it being an only Switch game, which is kind of still upsetting. I would like to have seen it on PS4 to give it a try. Then again, with it being on Switch, as they've announced, it'll be out fall of this year, and it's still a free game. So, hey, it's still a free game. It'll be coming out for the Switch as well in the fall. Nothing wrong with that. Free games. Gotta like that. Now we get to one of the most, I guess, uncomfortable things that they had to do. They had to go about Fallout 76, and they said it themselves. They had some bumps in the roads with the launch. This thing was absolute garbage. They should not be doing an online game with the Fallout franchise. The way they did this was just horrible. But they're trying to make up with it with some of these updates that are coming out. One is called Wastelanders, and it will include NPC characters with dialogue trees. Now, having NPC characters is something that should have been in it from the get-go, from the very start of Fallout 76. Instead of you going around and, oh, look, it's a recording. Oh, look, it's another recording. Oh, look, you're going over here to another recording. That was bullshit. And, of course, the usual stupid trend that's going around with the video games. Guess what? Fallout 76 is having a Battle Royale mode called Nuclear Winter. When I heard that they're having Battle Royale, I'm more or less going, not another fucking one. Because they've got so many fucking games that are just centered around Battle Royale style games. And you know what? Halo did this Battle Royale style of gaming before it was even called that. Well, before it was called that for video games. Because for them, it was just like multiplayer, Slayer, and stuff like that. It's like, dude, just stop. People were complaining about how zombie modes in video games were getting like bad for the video games. Well, you know what? This is getting worse. I don't know. I don't give a rat's ass if I get backlash for this or not. I hate these Battle Royale modes. The only way that I did like it was with the Halo games, because it's expected in the Halo games to have a multiplayer Slayer. Throwing this shit, the stinking pile of shit, in with these games when they don't need to. It's just... It's getting too cliche and too annoying, and... I mean, hopefully some others out there will feel the way I do about this, but... Anyway, that was more or less what I consider two highlights from the Bethesda E3 press conference. So, now we go to Ubisoft. Oh boy, Ubisoft, you had one weird, fucked up E3 press conference. Oh boy. But, the one thing a lot of people were interested in with this press conference was the next Watch Dogs game. Because it was leaked prior, that was called Watch Dogs Legion. And it was going to be set in the UK. Well, they confirmed it. It's called Watch Dogs Legion, and it's in a somewhat futuristic London. Somewhat, not distant future where there's flying cars and... We're still waiting for those fucking flying cars and those hoverboards. There's going to be where you can switch between multiple characters. You're supposed to be gaining this resistance against a tyranny type of government that's I don't know if it's like too much reinforcement on its society and stuff. So one thing they showed off, well, a few things that they showed off during it was if your one character they play gets killed off, he stays dead. It's a permanent death in the game. But I mean, there's going to be multiple characters that you can play as, because even with the demo that they kind of showed off, it went from one character, he got killed off, to a grandma who was a retired assassin, which that right there I find a bit weird, considering how often we hear about retired assassins. They're kind of scarce, and well, might not be as much as we think or hear, considering how many of them might find ways to escape assassinations and stuff. But anyway, yeah, this game looks great. I mean, it kind of looks better than the previous Watch Dogs 2 game, because you have different options as far as characters you can play as, and I'm not too sure or not, but it might have a created character too as well. But they did give a release date for this game. It was March 6, 2020. So the question there is, will it be out for both current generation and the next generation consoles? Considering that we heard Xbox talk about their Project Scarlett coming out holiday 2020. To me, this was the only good thing we got out of the Ubisoft E3 press conference, because otherwise we got some weird, fucked up shit. Square Enix. Oh boy. Who the fuck? There's one thing I don't understand and question with every fucking game company that decides to release info prior to E3 when they should be saving their info for E3. Case in point, Square Enix had like a Final Fantasy Orchestra thing the day before their E3 press conference. And guess what? They revealed their release date for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. The fuck? You guys are supposed to be saving this shit for the E3 press conferences. I just don't understand why these companies do this shit. But anyway, they revealed that the release date was going to be March 3rd, 2020. That's the only date that they gave for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. March 3rd, 2020. And at that time, we didn't hear otherwise if there was going to be multiple parts. Now, at the E3 press conference, we hear that there is going to be 2 discs. Not 2 parts, just 2 discs. Now, I don't know if one disc is going to be part 1 and one disc is going to be part 2. I don't know. But they're saying that, like, the first disc has enough material has enough material that's going to be Midgard. That's more or less going to be Midgard. All the stuff you do in Midgard in the first disc. I'm guessing the rest of the stuff is going to be on the second. And some of the rumors going around is Sephiroth, maybe the final boss on the first disc. So I don't know if it's a pure flashback battle or what. At the press conference, we did get some more gameplay footage, along with someone who has not been shown in any of this stuff, and I guess they were afraid to show her off, but we got some Tifa revealed and shown off as far as like fighting and stuff. Tifa does look really nice, and the only downfall I see from her is her being made more realistically, so breast reductions, but still she looks like she's got a nice set. And her wardrobe has changed since, well, I mean, if you compare her wardrobe in this trailer compared to like some of the previous original art and the PlayStation 1 game / the remastering-ish that they released recently, they gave her like long black sock legging things. They made her skirt a bit weirder. She's wearing apparently 2 sports bra type of things, which I'm guessing if you have a huge rack, you kind of need 2 sports bras to kind of help keep yourself balanced without falling over and stuff with your huge boobs, which they kind of were huge in the video game. But man, I was glad to see that they finally showed off Tifa. I mean, when you think about Final Fantasy VII, even the remake, there's like a set of characters you had to show off. Barret and Cloud we already saw. Aerith was shown off. Tifa was another one that needed to be showed off, and they finally did. Oh yeah, they did show off some Sephiroth in the trailer that they showed off. It looked like Sephiroth was showing up in an alley in Midgard. I don't know if it was just Cloud hallucinating or what. So on top of this, they did reveal some additions of the physical copy of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, at least as far as like this first release. I don't know if there's going to be like a more complete edition later on or not. With the standard deluxe, well, standard. So we all know that there's going to be like a standard, just the game edition. There's also going to be a deluxe edition, which is going to be probably a little bit more. It's going to include a deluxe edition cover, a steelbook case, art book, mini soundtrack, Cacturn DLC, I guess pre-order bonus is a Chocobo Chick DLC content too. Okay, yeah, that's nice for a deluxe edition, including a steelbook case, art book, soundtrack. That's nice. That's probably gonna give you what, maybe I forgot the price of the deluxe edition, so I'm guessing it would be around like under $100. But now there's another edition they revealed that was exclusive to the Square Enix store. And as of right now, when I'm recording this, I don't know if they were completely sold out or not. But considering how much they are, I doubt they would be unless they were really hardcore extreme Final Fantasy VII fans. But this First Class edition does include everything in the deluxe edition, with one additional DLC summon. But it also includes a PlayArts Kai, Cloud, Strife, and Motorcycle. So for so much more, you're going to get a Cloud figurine with a motorcycle. And guess how much this is going to be? This is going to be over $300. Yeah, have fun with that. Yeah, that's going to be a good amount of money there. Hope you have fun with that. Hope you didn't have to pay any fucking bills. Alright, so something else that was revealed at the Square Enix's E3 press conference. Something that people have been wondering about and wondering why it has been revealed, talked about, shown off in any way whatsoever, especially with the previous remasters that there was for Final Fantasy games. There's a Final Fantasy VIII Remastered coming out. It'll be out for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, Steam, and it'll be out this year. When this year? I forgot. I think the only thing that they showed off was this year. I forgot if it was like late this year or what. But this is one of those games that people have been wondering why they haven't had any remasters for. Because they've had remasters multiple times for Final Fantasy X, X-2. They did the Final Fantasy VII remastered in quotations because it was upscaled to the PC versions that they've made. There was 9. Yeah, 9 that was remastered. So it's nice for them to finally get around to remastering, in quotations, Final Fantasy VIII. I know some of the crew of Fan Night will want to try this out once it comes out, because it's Final Fantasy. And now we go to Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers. And let's just say this looks horrible as far as the actual character models and oh boy. When you see, not exactly the costume, I mean, some of the costume designs for these characters are good. Some are just, ugh. And when they take off their masks, helmets, it's like, oh god. Because they look more like the movie's stunt doubles than actual Avengers. So, because everyone is used to the way that the Avengers look like from the movies. You know, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk. Well, Hulk/Banner, Black Widow. Because those are the characters that you get to play as in this Avengers game. Although when they revealed the list of characters, someone in the crowd was like, "Where's Hawkeye?" And technically they could introduce him later on. They do say that there will be online 4 players, but the main campaign mode is going to be single player. There's going to be free characters, free regions that'll be available, no loot boxes. They say there will be an early beta for PlayStation 4. And on top of that, we do have a date, May 15th, 2020. Now, because of how much flack and shit that they were getting for, well, I don't know if it was just Crystal Dynamics or maybe the ones in charge of this game, but they were getting so much shit because of the character designs. And all the stunt double saying things that were being thrown out there, along with maybe I'll probably post up the Spider-Man Homecoming with the, "Hey, you guys aren't the real Avengers." But from what we heard afterwards, I think it was like the main director guy for this video game project of the Avengers says that they are not changing the character designs. And I'm like, nope, you gotta change the character designs because they look like absolute shit. The Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the Switch looks tons better than this Marvel Avengers game from Square Enix. So yeah, that was the main things I consider important from the Square Enix E3 press conference this year. Now this brings me to one other thing that was shown off and announced at E3, not by way of a press conference, well, per se, not like the video game company press conferences like Xbox, Bethesda, stuff like that. Arcade 1UP, they revealed 3 new arcade cabinets, 2 of which, well, one I really am like, gotta get it. The other one is like, it would be nice. And the last one's like, why? The first 2 that they revealed, one they had like a huge like 16-foot cabinet on display for people to walk up to. And it was the Marvel Superheroes. It's going to include the Marvel Superheroes fighting game, the X-Men Children of the Atom fighting game, and the Punisher arcade game. Why do they not include more fighting games on that one? Because a lot of people have been asking and wondering about some Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games on one of these consoles, on one of these cabinets. And the fact that they're doing little bits like this makes you wonder, it's like, why? Why aren't you... You have people asking for this, saying that, this would sell. And I think in that aspect, they're not quite understanding, unless they're having so many issues to try and get the certain rights or whatever for some of the games. Because at this point, with a cabinet like this Marvel Superheroes one, on top of the Street Fighter one that they released, it's like, they could have packed so many of the fighting games in those, but instead they didn't. The other one they revealed is a Turtles one, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet, which has the first arcade game, and the Turtles in Time game. Insert a Tony Stark saying, I want one.
I want one.
No.
Because this is one that, man, as much as I want and need to get this, I know the most difficult thing is going to be putting it next to the other ones. Because currently here where I'm living, there's the Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat ones. The biggest issue with this is going to be like the joystick control panel area on the cabinet for the Turtles one. Because it looks like it's about maybe a full, maybe foot, if not under a foot, more of the controls on both sides of the cabinet. So that's gonna make me wonder how that's gonna fit in there. And then we get one that's kind of revealed later on, as far as a standard cabinet. They did also release info about these kind of smaller, well, lower level bar-like cabinet ones. Anyway, one is going to be a Pac-Man themed one. It's going to have Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Pac-Man and Pal, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Man Land, and Pac-Mania? I don't know. The thing I question on that is, why wasn't Miss Pac-Man introduced in it? I mean, I could see 2, maybe 3 of them that you could have taken out and put in Miss Pac-Man. I don't understand that. And the other one's going to be a kind of a fighting Capcom themed one. It's going to have Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, another Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, the new Challengers, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Darksiders, Final Fight, wow, 1944, Ghosts and Goblins, Striker Commando. Why couldn't they have just thrown those on top of the Street Fighter cabinet that they released? At least the whole half that has the Street Fighter games. They could have just thrown all those on the cabinet. So let's get to this coming soon one that they had teasing for a long while. It's Atari Star Wars. It has Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And it has a special controller type thing on it. I think I heard someone say it was like a YOLO type of control. I don't even know if I said that right or not. I mean, it's interesting that they try it, but considering that it's old Atari style arcade, that's not exactly something I'm interested in. So it's not my type of thing. I've heard a lot of people are wanting that, so it's like, go right ahead. Now, also, they've been showing off with these cabinets, these specialty risers that I'm never able to find where the hell you get these risers at. For some reason, I keep seeing, I think it was like GameStop's website, they had the whole cabinet plus a special riser. I don't want the whole cabinet plus the riser. I just want the riser. And of course, they were also showing off the stools that you can get as well. The ones that are specialty made with the seats that have the different games, including ones for the Turtles, the Marvel Superheroes one. I don't think they showed off the Star Wars one because I don't think they made one yet. But yeah, to me, Arcade 1-Up kind of won E3 with these reveals. And that's just my opinion on that. I mean, one major thing that really sucked, and I do mean that sucked, about this year's E3 press conference was that there's no PlayStation representative in it. There was no PlayStation press conference. That kind of made things probably worse. But yeah, that stuff I consider to be some of the highlights, summary, what I thought was the best things out of E3 this year. So, yeah, if you have some of your favorite things you want to share down below in the comments or whatever, go right ahead. Let's all share our favorite moments from this year's E3 and hope that next year will be the same thing. Hope. So until next time, bye.